Good morning, everybody. Today I am walking the Cedar Valley Lakes Trail, and so I am starting at the northwest corner, and I will be traveling all day southeast. So it's a cloudy day so far, but hopefully if the sun comes out, I will be walking like more toward the sun rather than away from the sun like I did last week, which is good because the back of my legs got so sunburned. And so today, hopefully I'll get some sun on the front of my legs. But anyway, the trail starts at Black Hawk Park in Cedar Falls. And so I'm in Cedar Falls, and I'm just kind of walking toward Waterloo, and I think ending in Evansdale. I thought the trail, according to my Rails to Trails book, I thought the trail was 11.5 miles because the book is from 2017. So like a lot has happened in 8 years, and there's 29 trails in that book, but I'm wondering now if like 8 years later there's a whole bunch more trails that I'm not aware of. But anyway, this trail is actually 16 miles or 16.5 miles. So I'm just going to see how the day goes and whether I can make all 32 miles or if I cut it short a little bit. So we'll just see. But anyway, it's supposed to be a high of around 60 today. It's a little gloomy now, but that's okay. It's really ideal weather to walk in, the 50s and 60s. So anyway, I'm excited for the day, and let's go for a walk. So initially, this is kind of my view. So Black Hawk Park is in a really low, almost kind of, you can see, swampy area. And I did read about information about this trail, the Cedar Valley Lakes Trail, that it's really buggy. And so I brought my hat that has like a net over it because I do not like bugs. And I think this probably would be buggy, but it's only about 47 degrees now. So there are not any bugs out right now, but a lot of standing water here. It's kind of cool. Well, this is cool. It says I'm entering Cedar Falls. So look at all the flowers there. That's beautiful. But I don't know, I mean, I've only walked like 1,000 feet or something. So I thought I was in Cedar Falls. So maybe I was in Waterloo. I don't know. I don't really know this area very well. I've been to Cedar Falls quite a few times, but I still don't really know it. So it took me about 2 hours to drive from Ankeny to Cedar Falls. It was a really beautiful drive. I mean, it wasn't pretty going north on I-35, but then you get to, when you turn off on Highway 20 to go toward Waterloo, it's really beautiful, and the sun was rising, and the skies look a little bit stormy, but I don't think it's supposed to storm or rain, but it was just really pretty. So I just wanted you to know that Cedar Falls is northeast, about 2 hours from like the Des Moines metro area. I think this trail is so cool, and I think I'm going to end up over there because there's a trail. But anyway, it's just so cool and swampy. It's so different, especially compared to the dry farmland that I walked near last Saturday. But I just wanted to mention too, it's probably like 95% humidity. And so my hands are freezing, and I do have like lightweight gloves, but I'm just going to it's like almost 50 degrees. So it's not like my hands are going to freeze, but it's just interesting how when it is kind of cool and humid, it makes you feel extra cold. So just so you can see, I came from this direction and then I wasn't sure where to go, but you cross over here, so you walk along the road, take a left there, and then it will come up here and I think cross back under the bridge. So anyway, just if you're taking this trail and don't know where to go, just take a left and keep following it. And then there's a cool, I don't know if that's that, my boyfriend is from this area. I don't remember if that's the building that's like the old dairy something. I don't know where they used to keep dairy. I don't remember, but cool sign that says, welcome Cedar Falls. And oh, it's an ice house museum. That's right, it was a old ice house. Okay, and we aren't going to go down that way, but that is downtown Cedar Falls, and it's really cute. Maybe I'll go down that road on my way back. So yeah, so then you take a left off Main Street, I think I was on. Oh, now I don't know where to go. I'll look on the app, but there's a really cool bridge right there. Okay, yeah, I was supposed to go straight, so that's what I'm doing. There's the little red schoolhouse, and so there's a trail there. There are lots and lots of trails in Cedar Falls. And I mean, I wonder if they are really like instrumental in one of the first cities to have all these bike trails, because there are lots and they're everywhere, but there are only 2 in my book. So that's really all I plan to walk are the Cedar Valley Lakes Trail and the Cedar Valley Nature Trail, which goes to Cedar Rapids, and it's a I don't know, 60 or so mile trail. So I'm going to have to come back up and make that kind of a 2-day affair and probably have to get a hotel or something. But this is where this trail goes. There's an ice cream shop up there, so that's cute. But yeah, just Cedar Falls is just a really beautiful town. And so if you ever come to Iowa or want to check out the UNI campus, I think that UNI students are the most loyal, supportive fans of their school than I've ever seen. I mean, they just absolutely love the town and love going to school here. And I keep getting lost because there is not a, well, I shouldn't say lost. There's not a sign that says like Cedar Valley Lakes Trail, but I'm going by the lake. So it's George Wythe Lake. Those are the signs I need to follow because that's the next lake I'm going to come upon. But this is kind of cool, going underneath the bridge, which that's Main Street. The other street I was on was First Street. But the river is really fast. So this is Gateway River Park, and there's a lot going on here. a really beautiful shelter and all sorts of informational signs. There's a playground. But look at all this like limestone or whatever stone walkway, and then you can go down there and get even closer to like the river. It's really beautiful here. Okay, so when you cross Highway 20, it becomes really beautiful, and we're a little bit further from the river, so then it's tree lined on both sides. So I think I go left there, but now we are at George Wythe State Park, or it's George Wythe, I don't know. And so just some signs, but really a beautiful trail right here. So this is exciting, and it feels more peaceful. I still hear Highway 20 in the distance, but I'm hoping it becomes, you know, further in the distance. Okay, so again, it doesn't say anything about like the Cedar Valley Lakes Trail, but I'm not going to the lodge, so I'm obviously going to take a right toward downtown Waterloo, which I guess is 6 miles away. But this is a really pretty part of the trail. I highly recommend the George Wythe State Park section. Well, I like it all. So yeah, 5.8 miles to downtown Waterloo, 3 miles to Hartman Reserve, where my boyfriend was a naturalist a really long time ago. And Cedar Bend Park is 3.3 miles. So very cool. Oh, and there's restrooms at a campground up here. So that'll be nice. I've literally hit every single one so far on the trail, but that's what you do as you get older. And there are hiking trails too. And that looks like a backpacking, what do they call that? Like the camping spot for backpackers. So that's at George Wythe Park as well, if you're interested. And here's a neat lookout coming up ahead, so I better film that. Urban Sanctuary. Boy, that's an oxymoron if I've ever heard one. So I just want to explain, since there's a map here, I started here at the Black Hawk Park, and then I don't know exactly how I've gotten here, but anyway, I'm here, and then we're going through Waterloo down somewhere, just a little past Evansdale, I think, before we get to this Highway 20, I think. So anyway, but then the Cedar Falls Nature Trail starts, or Cedar Valley, Nature Trail, and then it goes all the way to Cedar Rapids. So that's what this trail kind of looks like. This is a pretty area. Oh, pits to parks. My boyfriend told me there was like a but this used to be a gravel pit, and so then they filled it in and made it a lake. So good for them. Well, I came upon this, and I am wearing brand new shoes. Brand new. First time I've worn them. My Brooks Ghosts. I love them. And I didn't want to walk through that and get my shoes wet, so then I went through this whole muddy thing and completely fell into the mud. I mean, not fell, but I stepped into mud and totally submerged my brand new shoes. So that's a bummer, but That's why it's important to like always wear wool socks no matter what, because if your feet get wet, your wool socks will help them dry out a lot faster. So anyway, that kind of sucks that I have wet feet now, but what can you do? Okay, this part is really pretty. I'm kind of like walking on an earth dam, and so it's just a really beautiful view of the Cedar River. And I feel like I've been in like really low floodplains for like the whole walk, and now I'm kind of up higher, so that's nice. And this is a nice neighborhood, and that's a neat house right there. But I'm not exactly sure. I've walked maybe 10 miles, 2.5 hours, or so, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. But the weather's perfect, and I wish the sun would come out, but you know, then it gets hot and then I get sunburned. So I'm totally satisfied with how it is right now. Okay, so after that, you kind of like come into a neighborhood, and it's really, really cute. And the sidewalk is all little. Look at her. Whatever, plant. Pretty. But yeah, really cute homes. They're older, but it's like people have redone them. And like little bungalows before everyone needed a 4,000 square foot house, you know? So like up there, very cute. I just love this neighborhood. So anyway, and then you can see you kind of have to cross the road, and then the bike route is here. I'm coming up on some geese with their goslings, and you know, this is gonna really make them mad. So I am just going to give them a wide berth, because while I feel I could take down a goose, I don't need that kind of stress in my life. That's a lot of little baby geese. Cute. So I've just walked all the way around this park, and so they've got like frisbee golf there, the Cedar River's over there, they've got a couple ponds. But this is a really beautiful part of Waterloo. There's a really big, neat cemetery right there. So, oh, and that tree smells, or those trees smell so good. So, I'm coming up to downtown Waterloo, I guess. I don't know if I go right through downtown or what, so we'll see. But there you can kind of see a more downtown looking area. Yeah, so then you walk up here. That's cool. There's steps right there, so you can, I guess, sit and watch the river. But I think I'm coming up pretty soon to John Deere, who was like the largest employer in Waterloo years and years ago, and either they have completely left Waterloo or like downsized their Waterloo location. And so Waterloo used to be like a manufacturing powerhouse, and then it lost some of its industry and lost population with it. But Waterloo and Cedar Falls together are still both you know, quite a big like metropolitan area for Iowa. This is kind of a neat view of downtown Waterloo, the mural, and then they have an amphitheater over there, and just the bridges to cross the Cedar River. The sun has poked out a couple times, but stays fairly hidden. And that's okay. This is really cool. This is a covered bridge. Here, there's a sign that says trail closed, I guess at this bridge, and I looked at one review in 2024 and they said the road was closed at a bridge, but the trail, you don't actually go up that way, you just follow along the river. And this concrete looks really new to me, so I kind of think they're closing the trail up top, and then they've just built it down here. And I don't know if you can see, but I can tell it goes back up over there. So anyway, no sections of the trail have been closed so far. So after a long, lonely stretch, I'm coming into Evansdale, I guess. And there's people fishing. I've actually been shocked by the number of people who are not fishing. I didn't see a single fisherman when I was downtown Waterloo. And if I were in Des Moines right now, I would have seen probably 100 people fishing at the Des Moines River that goes through Des Moines. But yeah, there's the sign that says welcome to Evansdale. So I will let you know when I get to the end of the trail, and then I'll take a break and then turn around. Okay, so Deerwood Park is 1.4 miles to the right, but then the Cedar Valley Nature Trail starts 1.5 miles to the left. So I kind of feel like I'm at the end of this trail. Well, I guess there's 1.5 more miles, so I'll see if I can continue the trail and see where it goes. Okay, well, I went downtown, or I mean, just to Evansdale, to a convenience store down there so I could go to the bathroom. But I thought that it said the Cedar Valley Nature Trail was this way, but it is 2.5 miles to the left. But according to my Rails to Trails app, this is the end of the trail. So I'm not going to take that, and according to my like walk meter and the amount of time I've been walking, I was at 15.4 miles, and sometimes that's not exactly accurate. So I think that's good enough for me. I'm going to turn around and head back, and I'm just going to eat a snack while I walk so that I don't waste time, because it's getting closer to 12:30 and I don't want to be walking too much after, 4:30 or 5. I want to be done definitely by 5. I'm just trying to capture all the swallows. There's a groundhog right there, but he's blending in. I'll see if I can walk toward him. Oh, there he went. Cute. So I just passed Lincoln Elementary, and if you know where that is, in Waterloo. I have about 6 more miles until downtown Cedar Falls, and then I'm not sure how much longer, maybe 3 to 4 more miles. I think I'm on mile 21 or so, but I'm feeling really good, and so I wanted to talk to you about something. If you're still here, let me know in the comments if you have a problem eating meat. I gave up meat for the most part last year, and honestly, never felt better. But I just felt bad, like I should be eating meat. And I really do firmly believe that we need meat, we need a well-rounded amino acid profile. I believe all that. But I just do not do well with meat. And so I've given it up for the last few days. And I feel so much better, and my walk is going so much better. I mean, it's almost effortless. I can hardly tell that I have walked 21 miles. So I'm just curious if any of you have had problems eating meat and what you did about that. There are wild turkeys down there. They are so funny. I think there are 3 of them. So I'm back in George with Park, and before I had mentioned, that I'm having problems with meat. But actually I wonder if I'm having problems with the histamines that are with, like, that come with meat. I eat a lot of leftovers because I meal prep and I hate to cook. And so I'll like cook something on Sunday and then I'll eat it all week. So I don't know if my problem is the actual meat or the histamines from the bacteria that are just like growing on the meat. So I could do an experiment to decide, you know, to figure out if I feel, and by not doing well with meat, I mean it gives me brain fog, makes me lethargic, and inflames my joints. So it's like harder to walk. And I wake up really stiff in the middle of the night. So anyway, I don't know if it's the actual meat or if it's the histamines, but again, if any of you have problems with either, please let me know in the comments. Oh, and I wanted to say, it is about 2:15, so I've been walking for 6 hours. I'm not exactly sure what mile I'm on, but probably around mile 22 or 23, I would think. So, and I think it's going to be about a 31-mile day. So it's the first time I've noticed that the sign says Cedar Valley Lakes Trail. So downtown Cedar Falls is 2.8. Oh, and Black Hawk Park is 5.8 miles. So I've got almost 6 miles to go. All right, I am back where I began today. It was 31 miles. I think, and I'll look when I get back to my truck. But this was a really fun trail. I highly recommend it, but I have a word of warning. I think it's best in the spring and fall. I think it would be really buggy and hot June, July, and August. So it's a great trail. I mean, and biking it in hot, buggy weather is probably a lot easier than walking or running it. But anyway, I'm really glad that I accomplished this trail. I think it's number 14 of the 29 Rails to Trails in my book. And so I'm getting there. But anyway, I highly recommend this trail, and thanks for walking with me.